welcome to the corner where we talk about anime, manga, and anything else that really comes to mind. Poetries, stories, anything that really needs to be talked about. You know the drill. I've even done theories and predictions of later on things. Today we are talking about the history's strongest disciple. Did I say the? It might be the. I'm not too worried about the title. I'm not too worried about the title as much as I am about the manga, I guess, or the anime at hand. As long as I get normally the first part of it right, or where I get to view the thought of what I am actually talking about, and the history's strongest disciple explains it the most. This is about a kid who has no adaptability to martial arts. He is not good with it. He has never been good with it, and he gets dragged into the martial arts world because he wants to be a martial artist. He wants to be better, and he follows as a bodacious girl with giant boobs, like most anime. Which honestly, I would rather prefer that they would strive away from that more than anything else myself, because that's just so stereotypical to make a girl with giant boobs. Okay, you want a girl with giant boobs. I digress. Sorry. I digress. Anyways, history strongest disciple, kid, not adept with martial arts, gets adept with martial arts, but still is known as not adept with the martial arts type of situation. In the anime, he starts off in the same way as he does in the manga. It pretty much goes up to the same points and perspective. I think the manga tells a little bit more in detail type of situations, but his first actual martial arts move he actually learns is from that girl, and it's the sidestep. He actually takes out a karate guy that he's trying to get into, just by avoiding him and tiring him out. That's all he did. In the end, he did state, "I did not use karate. I'm sorry. I cannot be a part of this club. I need to beat you fair with karate." Well, at the beginning of this, it's really funny how what happens. He gets drug into this dojo with these monstrous masters who do all this weird things and blah 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 blah. They're pretty much torturing him at this point, just to learn things. You see him progress as a character too. Yes, they don't kill off side characters as much, but they do show a progression in the character's character arc. They show a progression. They show him becoming a different person up to in perspective, because you don't expect people to go through life not changing. Yes, you can be on changing up to a point, but you're normally going to change at some point in time, and it shows that. It shows that progression of change. It shows him getting stronger. It shows him being defeated by stronger people, or struggling with stronger people. It just shows on his journey from apprentice to master. He is still towards the end as a master level. He's still known as the person that doesn't have the ability to learn martial arts as well. So what in turn happens in this whole thing is he learns things. He starts to use his intelligence of his brawn to combine techniques, which and make them his own. He learns from different masters using multiple martial arts, just to adapt to his own style of way to do things. And towards the beginning, he gets chased by bullies all the time, and has to start trying to fight them off every so often. Towards a little bit further in, you see his strength impressively gets even bigger. The students he was beating up before, he was not really hurting as much as he was fending off, he now almost devastates them. I think that is towards the end of the anime as well. He devastates his student populace. I don't remember exactly where the anime left off, because I started reading the manga shortly after the anime was cancelled. But it shows him so much stronger than his than the others that it's not even funny. It's when he realizes, oh my god, what have I done? These weren't even martial artists. These were just students type of thing. Well, you see the progression of his storyline. You see how he grows, what he becomes, the new martial arts he learns. You just want to learn more about it. You want to see more. You want to read more. You want to see him evolve as a person, as martial artist itself. You want to see him achieve his goals. It's obvious that this manga got cut off short after a certain point in time. I think it's because of his repetitive action when it came down to it. Him having to fight stronger and stronger people, and it wasn't that he was fighting stronger and stronger people. It was the repetitive actions of which it was pretty much the masters pitting their disciples against other disciples type of situations over what it could have actually been. The story arc was a bit more repetitive than anything else, but it didn't make it less enjoyable to read. You just knew what was going to happen in the end. If you didn't know what was going to happen, you'd have more of a anticipation to read further. So pretty much in the manga, I do feel got cut short in the end. It brought him up to a sub-master class or master class situation where he has a lot more adventures to go on. But my thing is, I kind of want to see it progressed a little bit further than that. I want to see him not just become that master, but have a disciple as well that he starts to have to train himself, and then wrap it up in type of a situation where he's passing off that torch of what he did. He's always being trained more and more and more as time goes on through his masters to become stronger than them, and it doesn't even show him becoming stronger than his own masters in the end. It just shows him being able to take on a new master class type of people. They're in the master class, so on and so forth. I enjoyed this manga just because of the fact that it had pretty good moments. It had an evolution of the character, but didn't have but the storyline tend to void off from what needed to happen up to a point. They ended the anime the same way they ended the manga, if I remember correctly, or something happened to where they did something in the same situation where it goes to the future and shows him with the girl of his dreams and has children and is this master of masters. But they tied it up in that little bow. But at the same point in time, they showed that they had a storyline that they had. They showed the future, yes. They showed a future where he gets what he wants, he gets what he needs, and I think that was a bit more of a better way to tie things up than anything else, because there was not many holes when it really came down to it where you didn't know something, and most things were explained up to a point. Kenichi obviously had a lot more to learn towards the end, and you want to see him progress a little bit further. And it might just be because I feel like I've seen the ending before with Kenichi, that I can easily let it go. But at the same point in time, they also put into perspective that there was more of a storyline to it. They literally did. They gave that. Yeah, we had more of a storyline, but we couldn't continue it. They ended it gracefully, if I would say, a more graceful way. They ended the arc. They had more things explained with a little bit more questions of what was going on. They answered a few of the questions with the ending they portrayed, but in the end, you still get that perspective of more of a story to the situation at hand. And honestly, that's what I think makes a good I want to I keep watching type of situation. I can understand when I'm going about it again. No, gotta stop before I go. PTSD. Oh God, no, not again. Anyways, just this and anime manga itself. The anime and short had a short ending. I enjoyed it. The manga ended at a good point. It did have a good point to end at. It did show that the progression in the intern situation at hand. It was an acceptable way to do things. I enjoyed how it went and what was going on. The arcs themselves may have gotten repetitive here and there. They may have been pretty much the same up to the point, but at least you could enjoy it. So I would recommend watching this anime, reading the manga. Manga obviously goes a lot further. And I think that you would honestly enjoy this particular one. It just screams, "Hey, look at me!" type of situations. You know, I have a weird taste when it comes down to it. I like the weird ones. Yeah, you heard me. I love the weird ones. Anyways, as time goes on, things will start to change. But as I was saying, read, watch, enjoy, because Kenichi, the strongest disciple, is one of the strongest disciples you'll ever see. He has the moves, the abilities, the adaptability to do what he needs to do, but does not have the ability to learn martial arts fluently type of situations, not fluently, you know what I mean though. He doesn't have what it takes to become a martial artist, is what it pretty much comes down to, and it kind of points out anybody can be a martial artist when it really comes down to it, as long as you put training forth, as long as you work hard for that situation, as long as you get to that point through hard work and determination. It gives you that point. It gives you a good life lesson. It gives you what you want when it really comes down to it. It may not have been that popular. It was more of slice of life than anything else, but you still got that feeling to continue. Anyways, as I was saying, I shall start going on to next video after this. I'm not too sure what the next one's going to be, because I just did 3 topics in a row. I might just flip over to a Let's Play. I don't know. I might want to take some time out and do some reaction time. It'd be my first Let's Play anyway, so. But I have to figure out the game. Game. I might just do I might do a theory. Or something like that. I don't know. Let's continue this in the next video though. I am Felix Kele, and I will be with you then. So, if you can, have a good day and have a fun one as well. Read plenty, watch plenty. It'd be amazing.